Why do you need to be a master communicator? The hallmark of being a master communicator is so that you can influence others. But what is influence? We hear it so many times. The media is trying to influence us. Politicians are trying to influence us. Our teachers are trying to influence us. But what does it actually mean? The dictionary definition of influence means the capacity to influence the behavior of an individual or something. But why might that be useful to us? Well, sometimes we need a person's help on a problem we're having, and we need to persuade them into the idea of actually helping us. But without being equipped with the skills that I'm going to teach you and the little tricks I will show you, persuading someone to get in and give themselves their time, their energy into helping you becomes a lot more difficult. So without further ado, we're going to go through these little tricks and tactics. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make it very clear that these tips and tricks are not to be used to manipulate. Ladies and gentlemen, there's this quote, the difference between persuading and manipulating is intent. So I ask you, what is your intent? Is your intent to use this for the greater good, to help solve problems which you know can lead to better results for you, your family, your friends? Or are you going to use these tactics to manipulate people so that you can have power over them? I'll leave that to you. The first tactic we're going to talk about is the contrast principle. You ever have something which you know you've got to give to a friend, but you're never quite sure how they would react to it? Would they value it, you think? Would they like it? But I would like to show you a little tip you can do just to make your presence and your gifts a little bit more attractive. Why don't you show a low quality, less valuable item first? I know you're thinking, Josh, why would I ever do that? You know, they probably want to throw it at my face. When you show the low quality item first, and then immediately after that, follow up with a higher quality item, which is more rare, more unique, and a lot better, the person who receives the gift would think in their head that the second item is way more unique, way more rare, way more better than it actually is, because they're comparing it to the first item you offered to them. That's how powerful this technique is. We see it being used with sales representatives. They might show you a few low quality items, low quality laptops, which get you to roll your eyes before they unveil the actual product that they always wanted to show you. Because when you see this new product, which is fairly priced, which has all the functions that you want in a laptop, you are now more inclined to say yes to that item. That's why this principle works so well. And that's why it's so useful to effectively communicate and be that master communicator. Second principle I would like to talk about is the power of reciprocal exchange and why you could use that principle to be a master communicator. So we'll talk about something which is very common to all of us. And it's Christmas. We do receive a lot of gifts from our friends. But you ever feel that urge when someone gives you a gift that you have to give them a gift back? And if you don't, it just irritates you. You know, you feel obliged, you feel indebted to give them a gift back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called reciprocity. This is so fundamental when it comes to influencing others and being a master communicator. Because when we give to our audience, our friends, our families, what inevitably happens is the person who receives it on their receiving end feels indebted to give you something back, whether it be their time. When we give respect, you gain respect. You've heard about that. Why does it work? Because of reciprocity. Now I would like to talk about a little bit of more extreme case where the principle of reciprocity actually saved the world. And I'd like to talk about the Cuban Missile Crisis. So, Nicotia, Croatia was shipping intermediate range nuclear missiles to Cuba. And Kennedy was like, whoa, I do not like this. I'm not comfortable with intermediate range nukes pointed at me. So he talks to Khrushchev and says, listen, we're going to blockade your ships from ever entering Cuba and delivering those missiles to Cuban soil. Nicotia didn't like that. He said, if you carry on what you're doing, this could be seen as an act of aggression and could escalate into war. The whole world watched these two superpowers rivaling each other. Then eventually, Khrushchev blinked. Kennedy had the upper hand. Kennedy's inflexible bargaining style has led Khrushchev to retrieve his missiles from Cuba and bring them back. But the story we don't hear is the secret deed they made, that deal. That Kennedy would remove US Jupiter missiles from Turkey and Italy in exchange for Khrushchev removing his nuclear missiles from Cuba. You see, ladies and gentlemen, reciprocation was used in this example. With Kennedy removing his Jupiter missiles from Turkey and Italy, Khrushchev felt indebted to Kennedy. He had to repay a favor to him, so he removed his intermediate range nukes from Cuba and saved the world. That's how powerful this is, ladies and gentlemen. If it can save the world, it can help you.